Good morning, this is day 22 on the Oregon PCT. I'm currently walking through a lava field on these rocks, so I have to really watch where I put my feet. We stayed last night at a little lake campground called Lava Lake Camp. Traveler and I camped there. We had our own picnic table, which was nice. There was a pit toilet. We were visited by Hoblet and Gandalf, who got water there from the lake, and then they went on past us up the road a couple miles, or up the trail. Anyway, today we're planning to do about 13 miles to Big Lake Youth Camp, where we can resupply and rest for about a day until we hike up to Santiam Pass and get our ride. He's going to meet us the day after tomorrow. So we're not on a hard pace to get there. It looks like we have a lot of lava walking left. I thought yesterday was the end of it, but I guess we still have a lot left. I didn't realize Oregon had all these lava fields. But right here I have a very good view of, I think it's called Three Finger Jack. Let me show you. I believe that's Three Finger Jack, and then over to the right is Mount Jefferson. And that's Willamette Pass Highway right there, which I'll be there in a couple minutes. Alright, I've reached the highway. And it's not Willamette Pass, it's called Mackenzie Pass. I'm looking back at the sisters. And then this is where I'm going towards Three Finger Jack north to more lava fields for the next few miles at least. That behind me is Little Belknap Crater or Cone. There's a side trail that goes up there. However, I didn't take it. I'm still in the lava fields here. I'll take a break when I get to the trees. Hoblet!
Hi!
Hi!
How are you?
Oh, sweating.
Oh, me too.
I'll be glad when I get to the top of this hill.
Yeah, I'm glad to get over all that.
Oh, that lava rock was murderous.
It was. Good thing that we weren't there like later in the day.
Our goal this day was Big Lake Youth Camp in the Willamette National Forest. It's been hosting PCT hikers for more than 4 decades. Big Lake Youth Camp is only 1/4 mile off the PCT on the shores of Big Lake. That is Mount Washington. Can't wait to get back into the forest after miles of lava rock and then burnt forest where there's no shade. It's just about noon, and I'll be taking a rest up here when I get to these green trees. Big Lake Youth Camp. Coming in to do our laundry, charge our electronics, and have breakfast and lunch before heading up to the pass for our ride tomorrow morning. It's Santiam Pass. Arrived here last night for dinner. Then we hiked out about a quarter of a mile to camp. And we're back for breakfast and more good food. Had a really good dinner last night. Welcome to Big Lake Youth Camp. This A-frame building here is the PCT Hikers building. It's really nice. Showers, bathrooms, kitchen, recharging. Over here is the PCT check-in, and then down a ways is the chow hall.
Hey, how you doing?
Morning.
Marks the spot.
Big Lake Youth Camp, Pacific Crest Trail. Here we go. We had 24 hours off. At this time in Oregon, they were having a heat spell, so we waited till the afternoon before we hiked out of Big Lake Youth Camp. We left at 6 p.m. and hiked only 3 miles to a little unnamed lake where we pitched a camp with Traveler and Alpine. From this campsite, it would be an easy 2-mile hike the next morning to Santiam Pass for our ride at 10 a.m.
Option. Yeah, doesn't work for everybody. It's a west side exit.
Where's Three Finger Jack?
Out of view at the moment. Maybe it'll open back up.
It's lost in the trees.
Skip this next section, get to Cascade Locks.
Our driver took us down to Sisters, Oregon, where Alpine picked up his resupply package at the post office, and we did some resupply. From Bend, we headed north up eastern Oregon a few hours to a place called Barlow Road, Barlow Pass. Good afternoon. This is day 24 on the Oregon PCT. Traveler, Alpine, and I began the morning hiking 2 miles up to Santiam Pass from Big Lake Youth Camp. We waited about an hour for our ride. He picked us up, Brian, and drove us down to Sisters, Oregon, where we were able to resupply. And then it was about a 3-hour trip up through the town of Madras, and then Warm Springs, Indian Reservation, and then west over to the area of Mount Hood. We had some good views of Mount Jefferson and Mount Hood as we were driving, and he dropped us off at a place called Barlow Pass on the PCT, which is just about 5 miles short of Timberline Lodge. So Timberline Lodge is our destination for today. It's about, I guess, 3.5 miles from here. On a very hot day, it was 100 degrees over in eastern Washington today as we were driving north. But fortunately, we had a air-conditioned car, so we stayed pretty cool. So looking forward to some pizza and refreshment tonight at Timberline Lodge, where we will enjoy ourselves and probably go to the breakfast buffet tomorrow morning and spend the day just sort of relaxing. At least Traveler and I will be there tomorrow. I'm not sure. I think Alpine might be continuing north because he's got a schedule. He wants to hike through Washington, and we don't have such a tight schedule. So I think Traveler and I might take a zero tomorrow at Timberline Lodge. So that's what's happening. And this is a really nice shaded forested section here on the flanks of Mount Hood. However, the last 1.5 miles is going to be exposed, steeply uphill and sandy. Not looking forward to that. Richard L. Constam Wilderness, Mount Hood National Forest, U.S. Forest Service, Department of Agriculture. Timberline Lodge.
There goes Bubblehead. And look at him go. To the top of the stairs. Timberline Lodge. Way to go there, Bubblehead.
All the young men filmed here.
1950, winter of 1950.
Bend in the River with James Stewart, filmed 1951. Good morning, this is day 25 of the Oregon PCT. We're currently at Timberline Lodge doing our final resupply here. Just picked up our final resupply boxes, Traveler and I. Alpine left this morning on his journey to Cascade Locks. We're leaving tomorrow morning. So we're camped about a quarter mile from the lodge, and we're just kind of hanging out today, taking a zero. It's a nice place to take a zero. And we've got a lot of extra food here, so we're going to donate some to the hiker box. Last night at Mount Hood and Timberline Lodge, leaving early in the morning. Good morning, this is day 26 of the Oregon PCT. We left Timberline Lodge this morning. Yesterday, Traveler and I took a zero day. In the morning, the third member of our group, Alpine, left and went ahead. But we picked up our resupply packages there today, We're headed on the final leg of this journey, which will take us to the town of Cascade Locks on the Columbia River, where our journey will end in about 4 days. So right now we're descending to the Zigzag River crossing. Looks like Mount St. Helens over there, and then here's Mount Hood up here. There's the trail coming up this ridge. We're going to cross the creek down here and just come up the trail here up over there. That's where we were, on the other side of the canyon over there. In my humble opinion, this section of trail hiking off the slopes of Mount Hood was the most scenic portion of the trail in Oregon. Headwaters of the Sandy River coming from Mount Hood. There's some rhododendron bushes, but we got here a little bit too late for the bloom. Look at all these down trees here.
You're looking for a laugh. The rhododendron flowers fell off. This is basically the rhododendron forest here. Morning, day 27 on the Oregon PCT. Last night we stayed at a campsite near the junction of the Ramona Falls Trail. So this morning we hiked up to see Ramona Falls. Now we're back on the PCT. That alternate trail was about 2 miles long. And we're descending down to a place called Lolo Pass, which is where we're going to take our lunch. And tonight we're planning to go to Salvation Spring for our campsite. Then tomorrow night we're planning to go up to the last lake on the trail, which is, I think it's called Watoon Lake. Then the day after that, we're going to hike down the Eagle Creek Trail to Eagle Creek Campground. So that on the 30th day of this trip, we will do a short walk into Cascade Locks, where we will end the hike on the 3rd of August. And hopefully meet some of our friends there and then go home. So these last 3 or 4 days are between 10 and 13 miles, you know, nothing
long, nothing difficult. So we're usually like getting to camp early. Yesterday we got to our campsite about, I don't know, 2 o'clock. It was really hot. Too hot to even be in the tent. Gives us time to have a leisurely afternoon and evening. And the weather has warmed considerably as we descend in elevation. It's very warm. See you down the trail. Mount Hood from the north side. Just came up from Lolo Pass. Travelers collecting water from Salvation Spring.
Appropriately named, huh?
Yeah, we could be.
It's kind of a dry spot between where we left off at that other stream in the lake, which is probably a stretch of, I don't know, maybe 15 miles.
This was the day of the blowdowns, as we had to crawl underneath several blowdowns on the trail, huge trees that had fallen across the trail. On this 12-mile day from Salvation Spring to Wattoon Lake, I ran into Freddie Energizer again and Gandalf. Good morning, this is day 28 on the Oregon PCT. We camped last night at Salvation Spring. Traveler and I, there's a few other campers there. Today our destination is Wattoon Lake, the last lake on the Oregon section. It's about 12.5-mile hike today. We got an early start at about 6:45. The trail today had a lot of blowdowns where I actually had to remove my backpack about 4 or 5 times to get underneath these logs that had fallen across the trail, because there just wasn't enough clearance to go under them with my backpack. Anyway, we're winding down the trip here in Oregon. The elevation is going down as we approach the Columbia River, the Cascade Locks. Travelers up ahead and
what's that again?
Yeah.
GoPro.
GoPro, yeah. I subscribed to your channel when I was in town.
Okay.
So
I just put on the the 24-hour challenge on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Too bad I needed actually a few more people for it, so we did it with 2 of them.
Did you do it yet? The 24-hour
Yeah.
challenge? Did you?
Yeah, but it was like 24
So we
hours,
had a lot of cancer patients.
24 beers,
Uh-huh.
24 breaks, 24 bars, like snack bars.
Good job.
And then so you do like you walk a mile, so 20 minutes. Sit down, share the beer, share the bar, and then we have a discussion about big things in life. What is friendship? Are we alone in space? Why are there mosquitoes? Stuff like that. So,
Oh, nice.
cool to do. And I actually wanted a whole group of it, but there were no people around to do it. So I really only did 2.
Uh-huh.
Maybe do it again sometimes. Better than walking your ass off.
Sounds like fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
So you got some coffee?
Yeah, I got some real coffee.
Uh-huh. Sister's coffee?
Sister's coffee. I got it from here. I even got his card.
We were gonna
All
just
the way-
return
all the
home
way in
and go
there.
back to work right away, but we're like,
car?
you know what? We'll set a small budget, go see as much of
No, this guy.
Wattoon Lake, 3 miles, Lolo Pass, to the right 13 miles.
All right.
We're going to Wattoon Lake.
The last lake in Oregon.
Mm-hmm. Our destination for Mark Hatfield Wilderness, Mount Hood National Forest. Platoon Lake. The last lake on the PCT in Oregon. Tonight we're staying at Watum Lake Campground. We've got our own picnic table. And there's a privy over there. A few other campers here. Living it up. Living the high life. This was definitely the hottest day on the trail. We left Watum Lake at 6:30 a.m., hiked past Watum Lake, and then hiked down Eagle Creek. We saw many waterfalls along the way, and the lower we got in elevation, the hotter it became. We did 15 miles this day, and we saw many day hikers on the way down to Cascade Locks.
Of our paths, feelings part our ways, keeping us close but estranged now.
Watum Lake, Pacific Crest Trail, Oregon. Final lake on the Oregon PCT.
But recalling it backwards, our dreams holding us closer. Ooh, we can see so clear. Ooh, we can see so clear.
Uh-oh. Looks like we've got a major blowdown here. Good morning, this is day 29 of the Oregon PCT. Traveler and I left Watum Lake about an hour ago. And we're on our way to the Eagle Creek alternate trail to see some waterfalls today. Our plan is to hike into the Eagle Creek campground tonight, where Traveler has a reservation to camp, which is only about 2.5 miles west of Cascade Locks, which is our final destination of the trip. So we paid to stay at Watum Lake campground last night. We got a picnic table and a privy for that. And yeah, we're doing pretty good. Just cruising along on this nice trail down to the Eagle Creek. I'm looking forward to seeing some waterfalls today. We picked our first ripe berries on the trail of the whole trip. Finally getting some ripe berries. Seeing some slugs on the trail.
Shades of gray, living day to day. Even when we're free,
Our left, lunch on the trail. Day 30, last day on the PCT. Good morning, it's day 30, the final day on the PCT in Oregon, 2022. Walking through a tunnel into Cascade Locks. About a mile left into Cascade Locks. Traveler and I stayed at Eagle Creek Campground last night, arrived there about 3:30 in the afternoon. It's right next to the railroad tracks and right next to the highway. So the noise was pretty bad last night, but we managed to make it through the night. We got good cell phone reception, so it's kind of bittersweet ending this chapter. But it's been 30 days, 1 month. And it's been a good trip for both of us. Looking forward to going home and all that stuff related to the comforts of home, sweet home. As they say, there's no place like home, and I'll be there in a few days. Welcome to historic Cascade Locks. Part of the gorge. The Bridge of the Gods. After arriving in Cascade Locks, we gathered with some other hikers at a restaurant to enjoy breakfast before saying our final farewells.
Alpine here. Yeah, Gandalf.
Farewell.
Having awesome
friends.
breakfast.
Yeah,
Awesome
good
breakfast.
times.
It's all gone.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, single file. Crossing the Bridge of the Gods to Washington, just for the heck of it. We're not going to stay there, we're going to just turn around and come back. We're crossing over the Columbia River. Welcome to Oregon. Very windy up here. Back into Oregon now. Got halfway across the bridge to the state line and turned around, and now we're going back. There's an island out there in the river where I think they hold trail days, which is coming up in about a week. The Mississippi of Oregon and Washington.
It certainly is.
Roll on, Columbia, roll on.
Yeah, you know, and I never knew why. You remember at Disneyland? I don't know if you remember, but they had that big steamship called the Columbia.
Yeah.
I never knew why they called it.
Okay, here we are. Sonny drove me across the Bridge of the Gods, and we're on top of Beacon Hill in Washington.
Beacon Rock.
Beacon Rock. So it's about 5 miles north or west of
West.
Cascade Locks, and so look at this view here. We've got the Cascade Locks there, and then down there the Columbia River. There's a sailboat on it. It's really a great view. Switchbacks, must have been about 50 switchbacks, right, Sonny?
Yes.
So thanks for
850 foot elevation from sea level, above sea level.
So now we're heading on down the switchbacks again.
10,000 years ago. Wow. Much of Portland and Vancouver area would have been under 400 feet of water. So Portland.
Here in Coos Bay, Oregon, where Sonny and I are having lunch after leaving Cascade Locks this morning. And we're just stopping for some fish and chips here. Good afternoon. I'm here in Brookings, Oregon with Sonny. We drove down the Oregon coast today, and we're heading towards Crescent City. Check out Sweet Stick Sonny's On the Trail YouTube channel. He takes you to America's most popular and maybe not so popular national park. Good morning. I'm hiking here in the redwood forest of Redwood National Park with Sweet Stick Sonny. This is the epilogue to my PCT Oregon adventure. Here's a redwood blowdown, and you can see there's a fire scar here. So we're doing about a 2 hour hike before we get home this afternoon. Wrap up this month-long adventure on the Oregon PCT with a little homegrown California redwoods. Across from the town of Klamath lies the Klamath River Bridge that was destroyed in a 1964 flood. All that remains is a small portion of the bridge deck on the western footing and 2 stone bears.
That's crazy. That's unreal.
That's the beautiful Black Oak Ranch in Laytonville, California, during the Days Between, which is a family-friendly musical festival and community gathering. This is a 3-day festival dedicated to the music and memory of Jerry Garcia. It's the pig farm. They're having their special event today. What do you call it, Sonny?
This would be
Black Oak?
hog farm.
The hog farm.
What's it called? It's oh yeah.